Okay, so we just finished up the testing of the Winchester Train and Defend round in 380 with our water bottle Cantaloupe and our gel. This was the first test we did in this series that the round didn't blow the front of the water bottle out. I thought that was kind of interesting, but at the same time, it was also the first test that the round had enough velocity at the end to actually break the back of the water bottle. So I thought that was kind of interesting. We obviously caught the round inside here. We've got that inside. We'll take a look later. Here's our cantaloupe. A little smaller than the other two. We're getting into summer, so they're shrinking down a little bit. But there's our entry. Fairly good entry, it seems like. Good pressure. Leaving, really small hole. Not too big at all, really. Ball ammo may do something similar to that, to be honest. With our gel, in and out on the denim. It's our third test, our third hole. Right near center entry. This was also the first test where we actually, I'm not sure if you can see that yet, but caught the bullet completely inside the gel here. It's about 8.5 inches in. From initial look, it looks like we've got a decent sized wound channel up front, and then it pretty quickly seems to lose its umph, and like I said, stop there at about 8.5 inches in. So pretty decent, good test. Let's get inside and take a little bit closer look. Alright guys, back inside. So here's the front of the bottle. Like I said, this was the first one out of the 3 tests I've done that didn't actually blow the front of the bottle out. But it did come all the way through and actually crack the back of it. The round didn't leave, it had just enough to just kind of crack the back of the bottle here. Other than that, no damage was done other than what you see there. We recovered the round inside the bottle, so let's take a little bit closer look at that round. Alright guys, here's our Winchester Train and Defend round. This is chambered obviously in 380. It's a jacketed hollow point. 95 grain, 950 feet per second advertised velocity. This is our round here that we recovered out of the water bottle. As you can see, the spread on it's great. Looks real nice, I guess. Went through the water bottle and hit the back, but didn't blow the front out like the other ones. So let's take a look at the cantaloupe. Alright, so here's our cantaloupe. This is obviously the front entry here. These stayed kind of gapped out. I was surprised. A lot of times they close back down. I don't know if that was because of the cantaloupe or just because of the initial force there upon entry. Here's the back. So I'd set outside. This cantaloupe's a little bit smaller than the previous 2 I used, just because we're getting into summer. But even with that said, this is a tiny hole coming out of the back for a hollow point, in my opinion, even with it being a 380. That alone just seems to be a bit of a telltale sign of maybe not quite as much expansion as you would like to have. Let's go ahead and get it cut open and see the inside. Okay, so we got her cut open. This is the front again, bottom on the bottom, top on the top, and here is the exit of the same. You can see I cut down the middle here. So we open it up here. As you can see, there's a lot left, in my opinion, a whole lot, as I kind of suspected with the really small exit hole there. We'll turn it around here so we can kind of get that perspective. So here was the exit, and as we open it, you know, there is not a lot of damage inside here. From what I've seen between the first 2 tests, this kind of seems like an underperforming round in my opinion. Alright, so we've got our denim here, we've got our gel down here. So here was our entry, exit on the denim. We just missed that seam again. Right here, came out, went directly into the gel. Almost centered there. There's our entry there. And the bullet traveled about 8.5 inches in and eventually stopped completely. As you can get a good look at it right there. Another thing I noticed, that the main wound channel on this was the first 2 to 3 inches, it seems like. Anything further than that, it seemed to thin out quite a bit, as you can see, and just lose its velocity really, really quick. So let's get this thing cut open and take a little bit closer look at it. Okay, so we made our cut. We've got the entry here, and stops back down here about 8.5 inches in. Let's go ahead and pull this apart. The bullet kind of stayed in on this edge here, so we'll take a look at that here in a second. Again, here's our entry. As I suspected, you know, the main wound channel here is just right early on, 2.5 inches in. And then from then on, we kind of lose it about 6 inches in. But as you can see, it gets really thin really quick. You've got multiple, you know, cavities in here at the very beginning, but again, it's only 2.5 to 3 inches in. So let's take a look at this other side. Turn it around here. Not a lot on this side here, but it's another continuation, you know, of that first initial entry. And like I said, very small cavity. Anything past 4.5 inches max, there's just not a lot of damage, but the bullet did continue its path through the gel anyway. This is really interesting. I don't know if you can see that, but that's denim sitting right on top of it that it actually pulled in with it. So let's kind of squeeze this thing out of here. And there we go. Set that aside. Here is our recovered round. Again, a lot like on the water jug, great spread. You know, can't fault him for that. If it was a pretty contest, this one would have won it for sure. It's a beautiful looking bullet, but I can't say it did a lot of damage. That denim is just pressed inside there. That point definitely picked it up and just yanked it inside. That's pretty interesting. I can't even get it all out. There we go. There is your recovered denim. So overall, fair round, I guess. I definitely would not carry this round for self-defense in my .380, but that's up for y'all to decide. Thanks for watching.